All right, man. Torture Talk. You know what it is, man. 12 o'clock show. We in here, baby. All right, man. So as you can see, I'm fixing something in my studio, so I figured I'll do a couple episodes while I'm on break up here in the room. So look, all right, man. So today's episode, we're gonna be talking about Drake. There was an outbreak at the Anita Maxwell tour, and we're gonna get into that. Unfortunately, an outbreak of something. So we'll figure out the details in a second. Before I get into that, I got to get my spiel. This is Torture Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me work for your subscriptions today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, know to find the ones that just don't harass them. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content. Absolutely free. But if you want to leave a donation, link is in the description. Cash App. More PayPal. They call me a hidden gem. One from 1,300 subscribers, over 13,000. And yes, 14,000. And yes, 15,000. And yes, I am the king of the north. Let me know what kingdom you from. So before we get into that, I will be having a battle. There'll be the very first live will be on this channel, March 23rd. I want to make it a spectacle. I'm just not just trying to do a regular live. This is going to be something that y'all going to experience with everybody, so y'all going to see it. Hopefully, I get at least all 15,000 of y'all on the live, which would be fantastic. But if not, we're going to see it's going to be a live battle right in front of y'all. So make sure y'all tap in. The flyer will be dropping soon. So, all right, man. So let's get to it, man. Let's do it. Also, I'm the king of the north. Let me know what kingdom you from. I don't know if I said that. All right, so let's get it, man. Let's go. This comes courtesy of DeVille. You know what it is. Let's go.
Well, it looks like Drake has trouble in Perth. Yep, that's right. In the Australian tour that Drake participated in, it looks like there's an outbreak of measles. It says here a person infected with measles attended Drake's Perth concert at Rack Arena. It says here a public health warning has been issued after a person infected with measles attended rapper superstar Drake's Perth concert. Thousands attended Rack Arena on Tuesday to see a Canadian rapper on the first night of his Australian tour. The Western Australian Health Department said on Friday the infected person was a returned traveler from Bali. WA Health has urged people to be aware after the infected person visited several other sites around Perth this week. So it looks like there was some traveler from Bali who attended the Drake concert in Perth, and now Australia or Perth has to give a public health warning in regards to this.
That's an unfortunate thing. I don't like to see things like that happen to people, and including Drake. I don't want anything to happen to him, nor who is around him when it comes to stuff like that. You gotta understand. We don't like Drake as a person when it comes to music, but personally, we don't want nothing to happen to the man. Like that's just my opinion. I don't want nothing to happen to him bad. Like unless we find out he has something to do with Triple X, then yeah, then I don't care. But outside of that, I'm not really rolling with that. And health, um, the health organization that's over there in Australia, they got to do their job, and I think that what they're doing, putting out a health warning, is a good thing. It might hurt Drake in the long run because people gonna be having jokes and people gonna say some things, but I don't know. We'll see what happens though. Let's go.
And as being Drake had pulled up there and he had showed up to this karaoke bar. This was before the concert, before that night. He was checking the temperature of the Australian people, tapping in with the people. And it looks like right after he did this, he went to that concert, and that's when the outbreak occurred. It also looks like somebody got the government of Western Australia Department of Health website and was able to confirm that Drake, let me just zoom in right here, that the Rack Arena is one of the places that's actually infected by this. It looks like here the Rack Arena, which in parentheses says Drake's concert was affected by the measles outbreak exposure location. So it's not just Drake's location, it's all these other locations, multiple cafes, a barbershop. But the biggest venue I think that's located on here or listed on here is the Drake concert. Obviously, there was a lot of people there.
Yeah, that's crazy. Um, how they gonna handle this, we don't know. I mean, a measles outbreak. I don't know if anybody had the measles before. I think when I was a child, I had the mumps. I remember the mumps, measles, chickenpox. I think I had the mumps. People say, you got the mumps, chickenpox. Like, you know, so I think I had those. I don't think I ever had measles. And I don't really know what measles are. I'll be honest with you, I don't. I mean, I guess it's sort of like chickenpox and it's sort of like the mumps. The mumps. It's like, yo, I don't know. But I mean, if all these places was infected by this person, it means a lot of people probably are gonna have it. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they don't, but hopefully they don't.
Concert, it's an arena. So it's the largest location that got affected by the outbreak. It was also reported on the Perth Reddit. I guess they have their Reddit forum over there in Perth. I didn't even know that, but it looks like they had made a post to notify the general public about the Metropolitan Measles Alert in regards to Drake's concert. This is crazy. I did not expect a measles outbreak to occur over there, but I'm pretty sure nobody was expecting this to happen at all. It says here Communicable Disease Control Director Dr. Paul Armstrong said anyone with signs or symptoms of measles should be tested and their doctor should notify the Department of Health. Anyone who has visited an exposure location during the dates and times listed should monitor for symptoms. If symptomatic, wear a mask and seek medical care before pressing at a GP clinic or a general populated clinic, I'm assuming, or emergency department. Call ahead so staff can ensure you do not infect other patients and staff. It says here early symptoms of measles include fever, tiredness, cough, runny nose, and sore eyes, followed by a red, non itchy rash 3 or 4 days later. The rash usually starts on the face and spreads to the rest of the body. Community members who visited the exposure location should watch for symptoms for 18 days after potential exposure and visit the Department of Health website for advice. So you mean to tell me
Damn. So his tour or whatever, or he might have to be quarantined for 18 days, Drake, or whoever. I mean, I want to see how they play this out because this might play out differently than what we think. They might, for some reason, they might let Drake slide on this, but 18 days, that's like a damn near half. That's like a month. So all his tour dates gonna have to get pushed back or whatever. That's crazy.
that everybody that attended this concert, this Drake concert, has to monitor their health and safety for 18 days, bro? Now, obviously, this is because somebody had attended the Drake concert and therefore everybody has to, monitor themselves. But that's crazy, You go to a Drake concert, there's a measles outbreak, and now you got to watch yourself for over 2 weeks, a little bit over more than 2 weeks. That is crazy. That is probably the worst experience to have going to a public concert. And the thing is that I think Drake might have to monitor himself, right? I mean, just because he's the person performing at the concert doesn't mean that he is not also excluded from this situation too. I think Drake also has to monitor himself, right? I could only assume, right? Keep it alleged, but everybody there has to monitor themselves because they're saying that if you're at any of these locations, you got to watch yourself during this time that it took place and the date that it took place. So I'm assuming that Drake would be a person that would have to watch his health as well as everybody that attended the show. This is just a crazy.
I agree. I definitely think that maybe he might have to watch himself. Who knows? But this is wild, man. This is wild. This is wild. Hopefully nobody got infected, but I'm sure that some people have, and it's gonna come up. I'm sure.
Thing to see. This is a crazy thing to happen, especially because Drake hasn't been in Australia for like 8 years. Last time he was there, and then this happens. Crazy turn of events that happens after his first concert back in Australia.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's wild. Um, you gotta be real careful going to these concerts. I mean, concert. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Concerts is no different from going to football games and basketball games. It's always gonna be some type of health risk when you go to these places. And you could wear a mask if you want. It doesn't matter. If you're gonna catch something, you're gonna catch it. I mean, they say the mask is supposed to prevent certain things to a certain extent, but it doesn't always do that. It doesn't always do that. Yeah, I mean, trust me, I used to test people for COVID, and a lot of the stuff doesn't really work. Let's be honest with y'all. You know what I'm saying? But either way, just be careful out there. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you know if you know that those places was infected, just stay away from them. You know what I'm saying? But either way, thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate y'all. Hope everything is good with y'all. Y'all have yourself a what's name? Super Bowl coming up today. Kendrick Lamar will be performing. Make sure that y'all go watch that. It's gonna be epic. It's gonna be great. We love Kendrick Lamar. It is what it is. All right, man. I'm out of here. See y'all. Peace. Bye.